my goal one day for this podcast is to eventually, I would love to get literally all the instruments like live and on and be able to record all of it. So somebody can sit on the drum set, somebody can sit on the keyboard, someone can sit on the guitar. I don't know.
That's exactly what I was saying. Like, I bet you could somehow. There's got to be a way to do it.
You
Sit on a
can.
guitar,
It just takes a lot. It would just take a lot more time to set up. And also, one day I would really hope to like set that all up, but also like have. I mean, I don't know. We don't have the best equipment yet. We're starting out, but I'm gonna upgrade slowly but surely. Don't
call me Was this the intro?
I guess so.
Okay.
Well, we're starting. We're here. We're already here.
I could sing some good intro music if it's not too late.
We already have intro music, written by yours truly.
Wow.
You would know that if you listen to the podcast.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know.
You're not one
Sponsored
of our 10
by
viewers?
none of our friends listen to our podcast. Just kidding. We don't have friends. Anyways, hey, anybody listening and who doesn't recognize that deep manly voice over there, that is Chandler. Chandler is going to be on the podcast with us today, and maybe on and off in the future if he enjoys this experience. Thank you for joining us, dude.
You're welcome.
And as always, Asher.
Oh yeah.
So we kind of talk about all nerdy stuff, anything that's going on. But I guess today is more of just we're hanging out and talking kind of thing. So have you heard of, okay, so Asher and I already kind of talked about this, but have you heard of the whole cats thing? What's going on with that?
I've heard some. I mean, I haven't seen it. I didn't really have an interest to see it.
We should go see it. We should see it because nobody saw it. we should see it until we can like review it or something.
Not pay money.
Okay,
theater.
I've heard nothing besides the fact that it's terrible.
I know.
So it'd be so funny because, like you said, I doubt anybody really would go see it because it's like, oh, cool, that's gonna be terrible, and then nobody watches it, right?
Yeah.
But then what if we actually go watch it? We like break the system, and it's actually amazing.
Like they tell everybody it's bad, but turns out it's great,
and nobody believes us.
I've heard it's great for different reasons. I've heard it's great to like
make fun of.
Yeah, like I mean, go in there and just expect this is going to be a show of horrors, and just enjoy the dumpster fire of a movie that it is. You know what I mean?
Well, in all the previews for it, they are terrifying.
They are so scary.
Cats or spiders.
It's just a bunch of spiders. Yeah. My 8 legs. I trip over them all the time. Yeah, no, dude, it's a terrifying movie. You know. Everything was dumb. So, you know, the CGI, like everybody who wears CGI, they always wear those mocap suits.
Yeah,
you
with
know?
like the dots on it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So they didn't do that for that movie. They all wore like regular clothes or like dancing clothes that they would wear, that, you know, like yoga pants
hockey
and stuff.
Jersey. Okay, you're a fat cat now. We can't really do anything about that.
We can't get rid of the suit. No, but they didn't wear those, right?
Uh-huh.
And it was just a matter of like they just gave it to the effects team, the post production, and they were like, you guys got it. You guys can just digitally put everything on these people, and they only gave them 7 months to do it.
What? Just like raw CGI, they just like frame by frame, basically. Is that
like
how they do it?
You know, like Office Space. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna need you guys to come in on Saturday and get this fucking movie done because
I'm gonna have to ask you to animate 90 cats in about 7 weeks.
What movie is this? It's called Cats. You're animating cats.
Each scene probably took at least
and we want
a
you to
day.
make it as scary as possible.
Yes.
Please do not make it appealing to the eye whatsoever. If you do that, we will be so mad.
If we get above a 60%, you're all fired.
You're all fired. You know, actually, speaking of fired, you know the Sonic movie?
Yeah.
You know how they're redoing Sonic and all that? The studio that did it, the entire studio closed down.
Really?
Yeah.
They went bankrupt after doing it.
I bet. So is the movie not
It's
happening?
coming out. No, it's coming out.
Okay.
Because they finished it.
Yeah, they finished the movie. The movie's still coming out. I really hope that like the studio or the people that were working for the studio get like something, but I guess, you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
do
that
your
was
hard work.
That was a good. I don't know. I'm actually kind of. I'm surprised they actually just redid all of Sonic in the entire movie.
Yeah.
It was. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Will Smith in Aladdin.
Yeah.
Where everyone is like, "This is stupid.
This is awful."
Do you guys play test or not play test this? But do you like actually show this to regular people?
Screen tests?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that is becoming less and less common now. Screen testing. They just have executives just like, "Yep, we like it. Send it." They're not movie critics. They don't know what they're doing. They just want the money.
Movie critics don't know what they're doing.
I guess so. That's an opinion. I mean, it's a good opinion to have, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're like, well, these people definitely. So if you're not a movie critic, you won't know if this movie is good or bad or not. You stupid consumer.
Well, I guess movie critics are like they have their own idea of what makes a good movie, while the average person is just like, it was a fun movie. It was pleasing to the eye and it made me feel something. That's all we want. But movie critics are like, but the character arc for the didn't, you know.
Well, did you hear what they said about Godzilla?
Yeah, they gave that a horrible rating, didn't they? They gave it like a bad
The
rating.
newest one
Yeah, Godzilla
with
2019.
Yeah. Wait a minute, it was King of
Monsters.
King of Monsters. Yeah. That one I guess got a bad rating, but it's a Godzilla movie. You know what I mean?
Do you know-
they're supposed to be inherently terrible in some way.
I
but
mean,
that's the appeal to it, right?
If you get too far away where you're like, we need to make all the human characters have some like big hero arc, and like it's called Godzilla, but if you spend more than half the movie on the people, then it's not a Godzilla movie.
Andrew, did you watch it?
Actually, I have not seen the new
I
one.
watched it and I loved it.
Really?
Yeah, people who like Godzilla like that movie because that is a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, see, if I'm going to watch Godzilla, I don't want to know. I'm not really interested if Talia likes Troy or not, or whenever the 6 kids are going to move into the United States to start their intern.
Well, the good thing about this is they actually they intertwine the stories in a way. It's not just like Godzilla happens to be everywhere this other guy is.
Yeah.
It was like they're following him almost.
Every Godzilla movie I've ever watched, like, it shows not the monsters and it shows people talking. I'm like, go, wait,
Go,
okay,
go,
yeah,
go.
cool, wrap it up,
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on, rah, come on, I want Godzilla.
Sweet, I'm gonna go get some soda, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be back when the fighting actually happens.
This movie has a lot of intermissions.
Yeah, I paid $13 to see giant CGI monsters like ram into each other like I did with my toys when I was a kid.
Exactly.
Cha. That's all I want to see.
Oh, dude, you'll love King of Monsters. It's so good.
I don't get like, I mean, people who are like, this is awful, but like, you know, it's kind of like that old saying, like if you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, it's like if you're gonna judge your Godzilla movies to have a good story, then you're not enjoying a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, after the 2016 one, people were like, well, that was not that good. They showed way too much human stuff, not enough Godzilla. They fixed that. And then the critics were like, not enough plot with the humans.
I just don't think they get the movie. Like, if they were to do it with porn, they'd be like, we didn't like the girl's character arc. She never got over her daddy issues.
Exactly.
We never found out if she made it to school on time.
Yes, I know.
The twist at the end, but are they really step bros? and stepsis?
Most of them aren't.
What?
Pornhub revealed most step-sibling actors are not actually step-siblings.
Guys, I gotta go.
Most.
Well, I mean, that means they're not even step
Most.
siblings.
Oh my god.
That means they're not even. That means they're probably.
Guys aren't focusing on the right thing.
Yeah,
Most
I understand.
of them.
This
So
is
some of them are.
earth-shattering.
See, here's the thing. What I don't get about that whole thing is that there's always like, okay, there's those weird ones. Now you can't say that you haven't scrolled past these, or at least heard about these, where it's like a step siblings thing, right? And then at the end, it's like the stepmom walks in and is like, "You guys can't be doing," and then does it, right?
Yeah.
That's someone's mom.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Unless they're step siblings in a different marriage, and then she's the new stepmom.
Oh, no, it's somebody's
But for
mom.
some reason they're not. Yeah, that's someone's mom.
Okay, well, or they're like 2 stepsisters at the same time, and you're like, okay, hold on, you guys. So, are you guys both stepsisters to me, or is one of you my stepsister and she's also your stepsister, or am I the stepsister? What's going on?
This is so confusing. Yeah.
It's because it doesn't matter.
No,
Who
It's
am
the
I?
same thing.
Who am I?
Yeah. People don't watch Godzilla movies for the plot lines.
The same way that people watch porn to watch this stuff.
Exactly.
It's the same. It's
It
the
is.
same community. They should just really combine companies.
exactly.
They should wait, that's called hentai. they did combine those. It's called hentai.
They need like.
Well,
like,
Russia knows.
They
you know.
also blur the dicks in Godzilla movies. it's Godzilla moving through town. They should make an entire Godzilla movie where all this is just a giant blurred out swinging dick, just hitting buildings.
No, dude, giant mushroom monsters, and all of them are like a little conspicuous, even for mushrooms, but like not
there's a
enough.
giant vein in the middle of the
Yeah.
mushroom.
And it was like that. What? Oh my god! It's
I'm just
terrible.
imagining like it's got what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, it's like ew. It's like it's. I think I work with that guy. Oh my god. god. But yeah, I guess Cats is doing pretty bad.
To bring it back.
Which I guess is going to make Pornhub really interesting, is what people are saying. But I can't believe there's going to be anybody. I think that's the only time people are going to really get together on something is like, we hate this movie and we should agree not to make porn about this.
Even Tumblr's like, yeah, we're not touching that.
Furries are like, do not get us with those guys. We are not the same.
Exactly.
Cousins at best.
They're not furry enough. They're too skinny.
Oh god, they're weird. They're slimy, aren't they? They're supposed to be cats, but with no fur and weirdly.
Well, they're all like, they have fur. From what again, I haven't seen the
they
movie.
have fur,
but they like have a little bit. But they're like all
just their
short-haired
face
cats.
is
From
like-
what I was saying. No, dude, it's their bodies. It's the when I see them crawling on
Oh
all
my
fours.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
What? I don't know what that is. They're like Khajiit. It's like a Khajiit like background
awful.
story.
Yeah, but if they walked around like that, I'd be like, oh my god. You know what I mean?
It's like
just,
Cats,
like,
the
they just,
story
like,
of Elsewhere.
crouch. In the game, they just crouch, which
Yeah,
looks way better than
You're
if
right.
they were crawling around.
They're way more similar to spiders because in the same way that if I woke up and I saw one on my bed, I'd be like, ah, and I grabbed the nearest shoe and just fucking just grab
Oh
it.
my
like,
God.
Michaela, get it.
Oh my god,
You
I would
saw a cat person in your bed, you grab a shoe, dude. I'd just find a sword. I don't care where.
find a sword conjured by the gods.
Yes.
My arm turns into a sword and I take care of shit
Yes.
myself.
Well, I don't have to go very far for a sword. I got like 4 of them on my wall.
That's true.
Weeaboo alert. I'm just kidding. That's why I need a soundboard. I just need to have a flush
No.
noise,
Your
a
mouth.
clap noise. I need a whoa or a ah. Like I need those things.
Wait, what did my keyboard do?
Hoo, hee, ha.
No.
Or yeah. Ooch, ka, ouch, ka, ouch.
That's probably really loud.
Yeah, it's probably not good on the mic. But you know what?
We'll fix it in post.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to post it, and people are going to deal with it how they want it.
I'm not listening to this again. You kidding me? 5 minutes
God,
in.
who would listen to this crap? Anyways, guys, subscribe, hit the like button, share with your friends and family. But yeah, no. God, movies are. Movies are becoming more like get the movie out, get it done, make money, and it's weird because you can find out a movie is in development, like. A year, 2 years before.
Yeah.
You can when someone goes, I think I'm gonna write a movie. There's like a tweet yesterday, like someone's thought we're gonna write a movie about this.
Yes.
It's that quick. We knew about the Star Wars movie like the second they like talked to actors and actresses. It was immediate.
Well, honestly, I bet these are in the works. At least like in meetings and stuff, well before we even hear about it.
Yeah, probably. But there's always leaks and there's always stuff. I just think that like movies back in the 70s, 80s. The Star Wars movies were every 3 years, but you didn't know that.
Oh yeah, because we have the internet now, so things are back then I bet like maybe if somebody did somehow find out from like word of mouth, which is crazy that they even did. Back then.
But someone made that up, bro. I heard they're going to make a fourth Star Wars movie.
Even if
bullshit.
Yes,
You're making that up, Jeremy, and we're not friends anymore. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Get out of my house. Stop eating my parents' mac and cheese. Who invited you over here? Do you have a key? Stop talking about Star Wars. It's 2 a.m. I got school. Anyways, sorry. Jeremy's really creepy. We all had that friend. But I'm just saying.
You or him.
But see, you wouldn't know that there's going to be a Star Wars movie, so you would go to the theaters, or you'd be on TV. I doubt it was on TV, but you'd go in the theaters. You'd be like, we're going to watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That came out way after this, but whatever. We're going to go to the movie theaters. We're going to watch this thing, the 80s movie, and then all of a sudden it's going to be like, Star Wars Episode 6, and you're like, oh my god, this movie's happening. I gotta tell all my friends. You know what I mean? But now it's like you just scroll Reddit and you just hit refresh until someone goes, they're making a Palpatine spinoff. You know what I mean?
Or just YouTube.
Yeah.
With the teaser trailer.
It's just like social media in general. It's so easy for that stuff to get around. Before then, it's just probably newspapers. Like you probably just got a newspaper and you're like, oh, now they're making this movie. And there's probably there's different like magazines or journals. There's probably a lot more.
There was magazines back then.
There's still magazines.
Yeah, but nobody buys them anymore.
I've never bought an actual magazine.
I haven't, but other people do.
In fact, I'm in the grocery store and I see magazines and I actually get like a little bit angry every single time.
I just cut out the coupons.
I feel like it's such
in the line.
Yeah.
Cut them out, be like, put them in your shirt. Just hey guys.
Yeah. You're just like nobody's watching. Okay.
Well, yeah.
I feel
for a reason.
How do you do that? I can't do that. I drop a grape and I'm like, oh god, I feel people are gonna be like, you better buy that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
everyone in line just looks back
it's
simultaneously.
like, what a fucking piece of garbage.
Well,
Are you asking how I cut them out.
Not how. Oh, you bring scissors into the store. Just walks into and go like, just like through the aisles.
If
Bowie
I
knife.
actually
Bowie knife. Shink. It's just-
guys, katana, obviously.
Katana.
The most
Let me
hidden
just-
of all swords.
Okay.
You can't see it through my
Until it's
pocket.
3 feet deep in your chest.
Not to get political, but don't bring that to schools.
Not to get political. Don't bring a weapon.
Hey, that's
Friends.
controversial. Don't bring swords to school.
Dude, people might disagree with that.
Oh my gosh. I would, yeah. I mean, if we could go back in time to where combat was normal and it was all melee, like, you know what I mean? Like, you couldn't, like, no guns. Get rid of guns. That's boring. I want to use, and like that drones, we're really reverting. I really want to go back to swords. I'm just saying, no, drones, that's animalistic. I want swords. I want to fight for an hour and a half, and really the winner's just the person who has the best stamina. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
That's not how any sword fight goes.
It's
I mean-
man to man. What are you
but if you wore like 100 pounds of chainmail armar, and he had the dull sword that couldn't cut through
Oh, a
chainmail
dull
armor,
sword.
so he's just hitting you until you're like, ah,
Dude,
you know what I mean?
I mean, at that point, you just go to mush before he gets
Yeah.
through your armor.
I guess so. I mean, I would just take off the armor and run. You know what I mean? That's the best thing you can do. Just be like, oh shit,
I just
he's way
punch
better
him.
at this than I am.
I mean, if I'm armored, yes.
Grab
Dude.
the sword, be like, fuck your sword. Bam. I got swords right here, baby. Dude. Made in 1440 by the gods.
This is Excalibur and this is Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
Right and left.
Oh god. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys feel this way. Totally changing subjects here,
I
but
don't.
I don't know if you guys feel this way at all. But I felt way more hyped about Marvel movies like a year ago than I do now. Like, I mean, pre Endgame or even Infinity War. I mean, that whole era, that like 4 or 5 years of all that stuff happening. I was going on YouTube searching for the next Marvel movie, and now I heard that they're making a Black Widow movie, and there's something in the works of Spider-Man, which I'm gonna go see those. I'm but I'm not excited. I'm not like, because it doesn't feel like it's building up to anything. Have you heard
Yeah.
about the Morbius movie?
Uh-uh.
Morbius? You have not heard about the Morbius movie?
Is that the
No.
Matrix remake?
No, my God, you
I heard
guys!
they're making another
Matrix.
Matrix. I don't. Is it more? What's Morbius from? I thought that was the Matrix stuff.
Morbius is a Spider-Man villain.
Oh, I
He's
don't
like a werewolf. Or not werewolf. Fuck, vampire. I'm gonna get shit on for that.
know. Vampire?
Yeah, he's a vampire.
Are you sure he's not a Blade villain?
Asher, he's a Spider-Man villain.
Are you sure it's not like the
I'm
Blade
holding a
Spider-Man?
Marvel mug right now.
Yeah, I know that. But are you sure it's not like a Blade villain that just happened to show up in Spider-Man at one point?
No. Okay. It's a Spider-Man villain. His name is Morbius, and who's playing him? You guys really don't know?
Wesley
Jared
Snipes.
Leto.
Oh.
Jared Leto's playing Morbius.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it actually looks pretty good.
I mean,
Oh, really?
he
Yeah,
already
and
looks like a
they make a
vampire.
Spider-Man reference in it. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah, but anyways,
it's not a Spider-Man movie. It's just a movie for him.
It's just Morbius, and it's his
Oh.
whole character, how they're doing that.
They're
But
learning from Joker.
well, I mean,
yeah.
I think it might be rated R. Actually,
Really?
yeah.
That'd be cool.
At the end of it,
I like the darker rated R superhero movies. I like them a lot.
that's what I think DC should do, because Marvel is now owned by Disney. They're
Yeah.
not going to go rated R.
They're trying
just
to
not going to do
They
that.
trying to copy Marvel, or at least just try to win them in the race. Like whenever Justice League came out, it almost seemed like that they thought like, oh yeah, us and Marvel, we're neck and neck, and then Marvel's like, who are these guys? Run along,
He's
little kid.
like, do not talk to me.
First Justice League movie. This is our 4th Avengers movie.
Yes.
Get out.
Get out. No, I see what you're saying. I think it's because it was building up so much that about like the excitement for the Marvel movies, superhero movies. It was definitely building up really well, and it built up super well. Because it all started like Iron Man, all that stuff. It all kind of started, and back then I think they were kind of just pumping out superhero movies one by one. They before Avengers, they were like, yeah, they could all be in the same universe, but they left it super open. And then once they had a lot, like the main guys all together, then they actually made like an Avengers movie, and it was awesome.
And see, the thing is people were always, I mean, it was always like Easter eggs, or there was always like conspiracies. You're always like, ooh, theories everywhere about how they're going to do this. And then when the Avengers came, that was a huge thing.
Yeah.
And then, Ultron and all this stuff, it was building to something. It showed Thanos, showed the Infinity Gauntlet, showed the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
They turned the things that were in the movies, but they turned them into Infinity Stones, even though they weren't originally Infinity Stones. Like in the first Captain America, I almost said
Tesseract?
Allspark. I almost said
The
Allspark.
Allspark? Oh,
the Allspark.
I know
From Transformers.
Yes, I know. It's the same. It's
Yeah. 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 Those movies. We gotta watch them.
movies?
We gotta watch all the Transformers movies.
I feel like
give a review on them.
I think they're the same thing as the Godzilla movies. I just want to see robots fight.
that's true. I'm
Although
just really a 4-year-old who's just. Oh wait, that doesn't sound right. Sorry. Mom, make me a mac and cheese. And then just like. Yeah, no, that was me supposed
So
to be
fast.
having two toys in my hands, smacking them together. But if you're just in audio, it does not sound right. Anyways, it's just a 4-year-old who's smacking his toys together. That's all really you want to see. Transformers, the same thing. But like back to Marvel, I guess. In DC, Marvel's got the superhero avenue down. Everybody's gonna go see every Marvel movie. They're gonna make $1 billion.
Yeah.
That's just how it's gonna be, and they're gonna be successful. They're gonna pump them. They're gonna beat that horse until it stops spitting out money. You know what I'm saying? But DC is barely getting by, not really succeeding. I'm pretty sure, I should probably research this before I talk about it, but I'm pretty sure Justice League lost money. But they don't ever show you how much they spend on like marketing or like even like post, like when they released it and then they were like, oh, we're gonna refix a lot of things, because you saw the trailer release and then they released a second trailer and it was all colorful and all this stuff. They did the same thing with Suicide Squad did the same thing with them.
Ruined that movie. That should have been way darker.
I guess, but I feel like the script was. I guess they did go back
the
and try
script
to.
wasn't that great either. What are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad?
Get out of here, Fresh Prince. No, I don't want that. Get out of here. I hate that. Any movie that does it's the title of the movie. I hate that. Like, don't do that. That's awful.
If you're gonna do it like Godzilla.
Oh my god, it's
Or if it's
Godzilla.
like Avengers do it because the name of the team is the Avengers, right? Justice League is cool.
But they don't
catchphrase.
look into the camera and go, "We're like avenging something." You know what I mean?
If we can't save it, we'll avenge it.
Yes. They totally
Actually,
botch it.
I think they did.
No, they say that, but they don't look at the camera.
Oh yeah,
Captain
no.
America did just like, yeah.
No. That was Iron Man. That was Tony
Yeah.
Stark to. I think that was just to
Loki.
to Thanos.
I think it was to Loki.
Oh, you're right.
Dude,
Oh yeah, you're right.
But
They're
I feel
talking
like-
about the city.
I
in
think
the
they
first-
earned
yeah.
that though, because they said
yeah.
it. I mean, they said it in a very dramatic moment. Tensions were high.
I guess
Climax of the movie. Maybe.
Really, it's just how you do it. It's just how well you actually do it. Like as far as like I don't know, they just had a really good director mostly. Writers were great, director was amazing. And then really, I mean, honestly, yeah, the actors.
DC got lucky with Margot Robbie. Like, if she wasn't Harley Quinn, they wouldn't have done even half as successful as they did.
well, now she has her whole movie.
I know. But here's what DC does though. They go, that worked. Let's do an entire movie on that one thing. You know what I mean? And they should have made a Batman movie. They should have made they did make a Superman movie, but they should have made a Superman movie, then a Batman movie, and they should have alluded to B versus S, you know what I mean? And then they should have had the B versus S, and it shouldn't have, the plot was so stupid. I mean, the movie itself, I love watching it because it looks great and the action's good, I think. And you know, at certain points
CGI
you're like,
is
that
pretty
makes sense.
questionable.
I think my personal opinion is that it actually makes sense that Batman would be scared of like a super alien coming to the planet and being like
for like the first little bit.
Yeah,
though.
he would have definitely
It's Batman.
investigated, but he wouldn't.
and then he would have found out
attacked.
he's a good guy. He would have found out he's Clark Kent. He would have found out his weakness. He would have found all that stuff out before he even, messes with him. I'm
I'm not a fan of that Batman, to be honest. Not at all. I wish if it was like the Dark Knight Batman, I feel like even that would have fit way better in the Justice League than.
I like Ben Affleck.
Did you hear
as
who's playing the new Batman?
Yeah, it's what's his face.
Yeah, it's
I always forget his name. We had this conversation.
the other vampire guy.
Yeah, the other vampire. guy.
All the vampires are stealing our movies. Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson. Edward Cullen, baby.
I talked to Asher about this in our last podcast, but who do you think would be a good Robin to Robert Pattinson's Batman? Now, you could either go, like, you could look for, like, a young guy, like a kid, but I'm thinking more, like Dick Grayson basically turning into, Nightwing. So he's older. He must be in his late 20s or something. Who could pull that off?
Well, that doesn't work because Robert Pattinson's not that old.
Robert Pattinson
he's
could
gonna
play
be a
40.
Younger.
And the
He's gonna be younger, I think.
Robert Pattinson
You know, honestly, and that was my first thought too. But then I saw that fan-made Batman thing with Robert Pattinson, and I was like, okay, he could actually look older than I thought. I think there's just a lot of with the Twilight movies. Really, is where you'd be the first thing you think of with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
you think is like, oh, little kid. You know?
Well, I think they're gonna
hop on my back, spider monkey.
I think they're
They're like running through the forest, and his legs are not moving at the same speed he's going up that tree.
No,
that was bad. That was bad.
Exactly.
But that Muse song was sick though. Down on the baseball scene, you know? That music was sick.
Mostly just because I was already a Muse fan by that point.
Yeah.
So it's like I was more excited by
I didn't even know that was Muse. I was always like, this song is sick though. But I'll tell you this though. With the whole Batman thing and the whole Robin thing, I think if you got a good enough actor to play him, I wouldn't mind the age thing. The age thing wouldn't bother me if you had a good Batman and a good Robin and they had good chemistry. I could get over the age thing so fast. That wouldn't bother me.
I think it'd just be better if they made him younger because then they can use him longer and not make him look old. Like
that's what
the problem with current Ben Affleck's Batman is they wanted him to be old. And you know what happens when you get old Batman? He gets thrown to the floor and goes, my back.
Yeah. It's like, this is crap. I'm missing Penguin Knife for this. But I was thinking, out of these people, I think, and Asher and I think, Zac Efron would be a good Nightwing.
Zac Efron, really?
I want to hear him. I want to see him in like a serious role.
He
is a pretty boy, but I think that works.
I'm pretty sure he was supposed to be.
I think he was talked about.
And then the Batman movie got canceled.
Yeah. Another one. I think, personally, Jensen Ackles, the guy who plays Dean from Supernatural, I would love to see him in a live action. Like there was rumors that he was supposed to play the new Green Lantern.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he would make.
I think he'd be either a great Green Lantern because he's funny and he's great, and I want to see him succeed.
Honestly,
he has that classic American look to him. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, he does. I don't know. I'm not. I mean, I like Supernatural, and I like Jensen Ackles. He's pretty good. I'm not totally convinced in. I don't know. I want like somebody who's a little more solid because all the stuff I've seen him in, it's a little like, especially in Supernatural,
like low budget.
Yeah,
cheesy.
a little bit, and he's definitely playing up that kind of character in Supernatural. Where he's like, I'm definitely that all-American kind of guy.
Yeah.
Leather jacket and Impala. Let's go. I fight.
I'll kick your ass and fuck your mom. Don't
Drives
mess with me.
Drives a muscle car and listens to 80s music.
Yes.
I don't know. I saw the video of him singing "Eye of the Tiger."
Outside of the window.
Yeah, in the car, and I'm like, dude, I want you to play Robin. I want you to be in every movie.
He's a little too
awesome.
big though. I don't know.
Too big?
Yeah,
like too
I think
much
so.
of a star?
No, too
buff.
Yeah, too buff.
Oh, really?
Think, yeah.
I guess he would be probably bigger.
Robin. Yeah. Okay. And I wanted to say this.
Robin is acrobatic.
He is acrobatic, but at what point, where in Robin's story, where in the Batman story, would it just be like this is how we get to Robin, and it's like a Batman and Robin movie? Because if that's the case, those guys wouldn't work because they are kind of too old.
I wouldn't want them to start like I found a guy and I'm gonna make you Robin. I'd want him to already be Nightwing. Well, I'd want them to have this long, but they've been working together for 10 years chemistry. You know?
But I mean, Nightwing isn't really working with Batman. Right?
But they can sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, like the Red Hood.
Yeah, I guess the issue, and they could do this. It's another one of those things that they definitely could, but they'd have to be really careful and play it really well.
And DC is super known for doing that,
right?
Oh, yeah.
Martha, why'd you say that name?
What a coincidence! the chances of this are so low. This is kind of funny, actually.
This just made me humanize you. What the fuck?
That's exactly.
No, I hate that. That's awful. That was the worst plot point ever. Do you think that's worse than? Do you think there's anything in Star Wars in the new ones that's worse than the whole Martha thing in Batman vs Superman?
I'm still hung up on this. The existence of Finn whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
I just don't think they handled his character that well.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Dude, he was the most interesting character of the whole trilogy.
Yeah,
a stormtrooper turned like good, and he had like this weird like PTSD moment where he took his helmet off and he's like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
But
Even though he was just a janitor.
I guess that doesn't make any sense. When was he a janitor? Right after he got done killing people? You know what I mean? After he just bodied someone, he's like, I guess I'm gonna clean this up. I'm a janitor of life. Yeah, I clean life. I mean, that I just don't get, because I mean, was that his main job and maybe he just got called in, you know?
Yeah.
Like that was his.
Yeah, probably.
He walked on the wrong transporter ship.
Oh my god, that would be awful. That's why he had such a PTSD moment, because he's like, I'm not even supposed to be here. This is bullshit.
He walks out. Everyone else is wearing or has guns, and he has a broom like on a battlefield. He's like, swinging around.
I want to see him like twirl it around. That's why he's so good, because he practices the broom his whole life.
Yes,
that's why he's so good at lightsaber
He's a
fighting.
huge fan of Kylo Ren.
I wanted
He has
him.
a boy crush on him.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually wanted him to be the Jedi of the story, almost more than Rey.
Yeah.
When I first watched
Yeah.
The Force Awakens,
When he picked up the lightsaber.
when he picked up the lightsaber, I was like, this should be the start of something. The next movie should have both of them training, and then the third one is them fighting Kylo together. That would be sick.
Yeah, I like the idea of having like a kind of second, because I don't know. There's Rey, who's definitely the main lady, and
She's
then
the main.
she's the main, and then there is Kylo Ren, who's like the antagonist, but also kind of the main. You can tell
He's
like
also the main.
Yeah,
but
he was more personal than Darth Vader was in the first movies, right?
Yeah, he was more. Yeah.
But he's still that kind of guy. He's the Sith Lord, is the antagonist, and then there's. What's his name? I always forget his name for some reason. Yeah, there's Poe, who's probably like the second, tied with Rey.
He's Shasta Han Solo.
Shasta Han Solo.
I think that's what they tried to make him be, and then when they realized, like in the first movie, that I don't think he was catching on as much as Han Solo did, they like backed off of that. Because if you watch the first movie, he's like super funny and super whatever. Second movie, he's less funny, and then the third movie, he's not funny at all. Like he makes a joke here and there, but like his character's a lot more serious in the third one.
Kind of turned into an asshole, actually.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, yeah. By the way, I mean we already talked about this, but the whole Finn thing being like, Rey, I gotta tell you something.
Yeah.
I mean, two things. One is that obviously he's force sensitive. That was what he was gonna tell her, right?
Oh. No.
That was it.
I was gonna say I love you.
No, that's what people thought, but no.
I think that's what you're supposed. I think the movie was trying to make you think that, but really, I think what it was is that he was trying to tell her that he's also force sensitive.
Oh no, he wanted to clap some Jedi cheeks. 100%. Go on.
It makes sense if you think about it.
Some interracial Jedi babies. That's amazing.
Yeah, we're getting real progressive. We're gonna show that in our Star Wars movie. Yes. Oh God, that'd be awful.
Yes, it would.
They shouldn't show that. That's gross.
I never thought about this before, but it actually makes sense that he was force sensitive, because the Force always balances itself out. And now that there was Palpatine,
I mean,
and Kylo Ren,
force sensitive people can just kind of pop up. Right?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like the whole force being like balanced. I don't think that's what balance means. I really don't think so. That whole balance thing didn't really make any sense.
What balance thing?
The equal amount of good guys is equal amount of bad guys. That's not balance, because the good guys are in the middle, right? They're good. They're balanced with the Force. If you're evil, you're not balanced. You're chaotic. You're angry. So you're very left of the spectrum, and this guy's very center of the spectrum. Yeah. So that's not balance. Balance would be getting rid of all the bad guys and only having good guys. That's real balance.
Well, it
depends on what you think.
Yeah, it depends. Like the Jedis and like.
Because the Jedis do what the Force tells them to do.
Not in the prequels now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they try to, but they're just too up their own butts about it.
Yeah, exactly. They're too good. I think maybe balance is more of like the gray Jedi type deal.
Well, okay, understood.
Luke
but what I'm saying is
balanced.
Okay, yes, but what I'm saying is with the whole Rey and Finn, and then supposedly two bad guys, meaning balance. But that means right now the Force is not balanced, right? Because balance would be getting rid of everybody.
Or is it?
So basically the Force would tell you, kill that guy. You do that, and you're like, I did it, Force. What do I do now? And he's like, kill yourself.
You'd be a scary
And then
god.
you're like, yeah. Someone said
balance
this today.
Getting rid of everyone. Everyone should go. Everything will be balanced.
What are you, a mattress store going out of business? Everything needs to go.
Liquidate your souls.
Oh my God, I'll trade you. Yeah, we're just a bunch of trains running around a Christmas tree until God gets bored.
Yes. And then he just kind of moves one train track. That reminds me of
and
the
then he's
kid.
like, chaos.
Yes, that chaos. He's actually like a 4-year-old.
It's way more fun to watch chaos. That's why MTV's succeeding.
Oh,
sort
good,
of. I guess so.
That reminds me of the kid who, it's the dad who has his little son, and he's doing the train experiment type deal.
What is that?
So the train thing, where it's where a train is going down a track, right? The track splits off into two. One of them has one person tied to the track that can't move, and the other track has 3 people tied to the track that can't move.
Yeah.
And you're right there at the thing that pulls the lever, right? So you have to
the dad
choose.
set this up. He elaborately got a train to go. He timed it
it's a
perfectly.
toy
He's like,
train.
we got to get you out of daycare right now. He pulls him out, sits him right here. He's like, Daddy, where are we going?
Got to
He's
make
like,
some big life choices, son.
Dad, you said we can't walk. Mom would be really mad if he knows that you're making me walk.
Morty,
next
no,
to
we gotta, Morty, we gotta do this train.
This is why Mom divorced you, because you kept going next to the train tracks. It's like, you keep bring me on these stupid missions. Anyway, so he sets in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this dad's just letting him hold the thing.
This is a toy set, just to be
okay.
clear. Yeah.
I was like, son, I'm going to teach you a valuable lesson today.
We're going to learn today.
You're going to grow up real fast. You're going to live with this for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Anyways.
No, so the dad sits with the... So it's a train thing.
Thank you
so
for specifying that it's a toy.
I thought it would have been common sense, but
mean,
no.
I
No, I
understood.
take everything very literally. This is me.
So the dad sets it up with like the toy set and like Legos and stuff, and the dad's telling the kid, who can barely really talk, but a little bit. He's a toddler, and so he's like, well, okay.
Like Andrew.
So what are you gonna pick? what are you gonna pick? Where are you gonna send the train? And the kid grabs the one person that's on the one set, and the dad's like, you can't do that, and the kid puts that on the tracks with the 3 other people, so there's 4 of them, and he runs them all over, and he's like, it's so funny. It's the best thing ever.
He's like, oh, I've never been more proud of my life. Yes. I'm gonna go buy you your first beer. He's like 4 years old.
He's like 4.
You want to go smack a whole pack?
Yeah.
Smack a whole pack. Smoke a whole
Son, you want a
pack.
cigarette? Come on. You earned it. Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's awful.
I'm surprised you haven't seen that.
No,
It's
that's awesome.
so good.
That's so great. The morality as a kid is just, I want to see stuff go. I just want to see everything burn.
I just want to see everything burn. and
Fire's
burn.
interesting to me. So, oh, man.
That was an odd thing to say.
I know.
We talk about like, you guys ever just kind of like sit and think like fire's really, really pretty.
It's beautiful, but have you ever thought about how much you really can't control it?
That's the best part, Andrew.
No, it's tameless, like Miley Cyrus. It can't be tamed. But like, it's crazy because have you ever been like in a kitchen, right? And you're like, okay, I did this the other day. Paper plates you can microwave, right?
Yeah.
Well, we bought these stupid birthday paper plates or something. We had left over from like Asher's graduation or something. We found them in the pantry, pulled them out, and I grabbed it, put a burrito on it, threw it in the microwave, closed it, pressed start, walked away, being the person that I am, right? Not an idiot. I'm a person, and I've always walked away from paper plates and those things, which now I will never do that again. And I just hit start, walk away, and all of a sudden I'm just like, something feels weird. Turn around, the plate's on fire, and it's in the microwave. What do? You can't grab it and throw it in the sink. It's on fire. You're going to burn your hands.
Yeah.
So you have to think fast, and it's weird because in my first thought is the house is going to burn down. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's crazy because I'm always like with the Axe bottles and spraying it. Did you know there's like a chance that the fire can go back into the bottle and explode in your hand?
That's what I heard. Yeah, I think that's true with aerosol cans. Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Also,
I think that's if you hold it though, which is why you don't hold it. You like press it and do it.
I'm just too scared to do that.
Like
So
in spurts.
It's so fun.
it's really fun.
It's really fun.
Or you
set
spray your
so
hand
much stuff
and then
on.
light your hand on fire,
Yeah.
and then you touch your friends.
I think that's a different thing you use for that.
Yes.
Yeah, we used to call that game herpes. No, we didn't.
Burns like fire.
Burns like fire. Oh,
Okay,
man.
what did you do though after the plate?
Lit on fire?
Yeah.
It's still going. It's burning right now. I came in here because I was running late for the podcast. Priorities, man. Come on.
What
Gotta put
did
this
you
thing first.
actually
Are you
do?
serious or not? What did I actually do?
Yeah.
I think I grabbed the oven mitt. No, I grabbed a towel. Like a regular towel. I just grabbed it. It was wet. It was damp. I grabbed it, wrapped it around my hand, grabbed it, and then I threw it in the sink and turned the sink on. My instincts kicked in, guys. I am the alpha male of alpha males.
Well, I did the same thing.
Oh, you did the same thing? What did you do? Just close the microwave? And just
No,
like,
I grabbed a
fire can't get out of here.
Dude, I grabbed a cup, put some water, and I threw that in the microwave.
Seriously?
I just splashed it.
Oh, well, okay. Here's what I did. I opened the microwave door first, and then I just kind of sat there for a couple seconds. Just kind of really gave it a good look. Then I kind of just admired its shape and its destructive beauty.
As it spread.
Yeah.
I pulled the plate out of the thing. I'm like, ooh, my burrito, and grabbed the burrito.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Took a
Ate it
bite.
real
Was
quick.
your burrito?
Ooh, that's hot. Set it back down.
Was your burrito cooked?
No, not at all. It literally lit on fire like the second I turned it on.
So your burrito wasn't cooked.
I took it. I stopped the microwave like 3 or 4 seconds into it. Like, seriously.
Okay, but it was in a fire, and it didn't cook.
Microwaves are hotter than fire.
I don't think so.
If you somehow got part of your body in a microwave, your whole hand would start bubbling. It heats up in a molecular level.
Well, it's radiation.
Isn't fire and heat all radiation?
Like a different kind.
Everything in this room is giving off radiation. It's all electric and
different,
lights.
though. It's like
All those CRTs I plan are totally going to give me brain cancer right in the middle of my forehead.
Do you think that like headphones are like putting cancer right into our ears?
No.
Putting cancer.
I mean, like a USB.
Yeah.
Just eject safely. Cancer.
It's a CDS. You never heard of those?
Okay.
CDS. You know what that is?
CVS?
CDS. Cancer Delivery System.
Ooh. It's faster than Uber.
Oh, like
Yes, it is.
It's like, ooh. It's cold outside. That was stupid. Don't laugh at that. I didn't deserve that.
I'll laugh at you.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's nice.
I love you.
No, I mean, I don't know. Kids these days, they're playing video games way too much, right? No, sorry. My boomer's showing. Okay. Yeah, let's get out of that.
if anything, I don't play enough.
Do you think okay, so it's weird that I thought about this, but when the Wii first came out, we were kids.
Yeah.
And we liked it because it was different, but as an adult, I realized the Wii's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing is stupid. All the games are boring. They're dumb.
Whoa,
But no. I really do think that. I think the whole moving the stick thing is just something that 99% of the people do not like.
I loved it.
Yeah, when I play Zelda, I don't like go hi yeah and swing my arm. I like do like the smallest flick I can possibly ever do.
Yeah, I
and
don't.
I sat down on like a chair, like like a foot away from the TV. And I'm just like
exercising.
Yes. Well, that's it. They were playing on the whole like it's exercise now. Video games are now exercise. But
Yeah,
but
that's
it's not.
I don't. Yeah, I don't like playing
not
video games.
anymore.
Getting
But
exercise.
the Force Unleashed on the Wii was awesome.
I'm not gonna agree with you on that.
It was awesome.
I played it on
Mostly
PSP.
for when you have to like choke people and you raise your hand. You like
when you
Is
have to
this
choke
before-
people and you have the nunchuck and you can just
Is this before or after you
until
turn
they
on the
turn
console?
purple. But they kept falling out. You know what I mean? The thing kept falling out
Yes.
when you try to choke people.
Yes.
Yeah, no. I would just tell you. I would just say this. I just don't like that. I didn't. Asher, you are the 1%. I really think you are. But I don't know why I'm talking like Donald Trump right now. But the Wii was the greatest.
Yes.
Anyways,
The
it was
greatest console. That'd be the most controversial thing he's ever
you
said on
said.
Twitter.
The Wii is the greatest console to have ever been made.
It's the greatest. I know the guys that developed it. The good guys.
Good guys.
Yeah, good families.
Yes.
Their wives make a good turkey dinner. Anyways, so. But the Wii didn't really catch on. I mean, it was
Wii didn't
popular.
catch on?
Well, the
Caught
Wii
on.
caught on.
Totally
The
caught
Wii was
on.
popular. The Wii caught
Yeah.
on. But I'm just saying, I don't think it only took a little bit, and then people were like over it. But I think VR is going to stick around
I don't
way
think it
longer.
was a little
Motion control, sensor control, or whatever you want to call it. The
Yeah.
movement. It wasn't as revolutionary as they wanted it, because right afterwards, everybody went right back to just.
Yeah.
The Wii came out with a controller. A lot of people just started playing games with the controllers. Xbox and the PS4 didn't really promote it that much. They had the movement, they had the Xbox Connect, but they just kind of were like, that's for like 3 games, and the rest of it's just controllers.
Well,
it wasn't as popular.
It wasn't. I mean, I don't think that was the main thing about the Wii. It was big, but it wasn't like the.
I kind of
main-
did. Like, because you think of the Wiimote, like the eyes are the little Wiimotes, which are usually just kind of for that. I don't know. I kind of thought that was the gimmick they were kind of going for, but I think
Wii Sports,
Yeah.
Wii games,
Yeah, but if
all that
it
stuff.
was like all of it, they wouldn't have had the plugins for GameCube controllers.
No, that wasn't all of it, but
definitely
they
planned
did.
on people not liking it.
It was at least 50-50.
No,
but
I think that was just because the GameCube was so massively successful.
Yeah,
There
they
were
didn't
so
want to
many
cut
different
that
ads
out.
for it.
Yeah. But anyways, I think that this whole VR thing is going to stick way more than
Yeah.
the Wii
well, yeah,
ever
because
did.
it's
Yeah.
different. Because it's not like you're just pointing at a screen. It's like you're moving your hand.
And where do you see VR going next? Because obviously we've seen videos of people wearing a VR with surround sound headphones,
Yeah.
right? And then they have like this almost like treadmill that's a
Oh, and they're
360 treadmill,
sprinting.
and they're strapped in, and you can sprint in your own games. You can duck. You can do those sort of things. Because I hate playing games where you're in it, but then you have to like do
Yeah.
this to move, or worse, you like press this button. Hold it and
You
then
teleport.
You teleport.
Yeah.
I really dislike that. That's jarring. It
Yeah.
throws you out of the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hope they bring it. I hope they just put a droid stick on the VR controller. Just
there are
a-
controllers like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like not on PlayStation.
Well, no, but like
No,
Vive,
like all of them.
you know Vive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vive. So so the people I was house sitting for a while back. I house sat for them twice and their dog and stuff. They had a Vive, and they're like, honestly, this is so funny. They're like, they're super funny people. So I went to go see them, and they're like, this is what you do. This is how you take care of the dog. All this stuff. I've dog sat before. I knew what I was doing.
5
and
minutes.
they're like, well, this drawer is the weed, and I'm like, haha. And they're like not laughing, and I'm like, oh. And then they're like, and we got a Vive in there, so if you,
You
want
can
to
vibe and then vibe.
vibe together. It's super funny. But so anyway, so I was playing on their Vive, and they didn't have a lot of games, but they had a good amount, and it's actually really cool.
Okay.
Like they had this one. The movement can be a little wonky, but really it's not that bad. So basically, the Vive controller, it has like the circle on top, whatever, and the two sensors on opposite ends of the room, and the controller has it's imagine you're holding a Wii remote. It's kind of the same exact thing where the D-pad was in the Wii remote is like this big circular like directional button. That's just, you can press in all directions or just straight down. It also is just like a sensor, so you can like slide your thumb on it without actually pressing it down. So there's lots of things you can do on it. There's also like a B button that the Wiimote had. Like a trigger button. Okay. And then there's also little buttons like that. They're all the same buttons.
Is that for both hands?
Yeah, for both hands. Okay. And then there's also like a little button that's like by your pinky and ring finger too. That you
gotta be dexterity to do this.
It's not that bad.
You gotta be able to play with the red button in Guitar Hero to play with that.
Yes, exactly. Guitar Hero aficionados only. But no, I was playing this one game in particular. They had a bunch of games, but this one game in particular was like this gladiatorial arena game where there are just these waves. It's only in beta, so there's not a lot. But there's
I think I've seen videos of it.
There are waves of these just guys with like swords and shields coming at you, and you have to block and attack. You block and attack, and like they'll like you can't just like swing at them and hit them. Like they're really good at just blocking.
Dang, you gotta get around them.
You do. It's definitely you can learn their moves and be like swat their hand away and then sneak under.
Dang, but there's some strategy with it.
Definitely.
It's not just whack and move. Yeah,
I played for what I thought was like, an hour. Like I had things to do. I didn't want to spend my whole time playing this because it's pretty intense. And then I took it off, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so sweaty. I need water. And then I look at my watch, and it had been 3.5 hours.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh my god, I was just endlessly murdering like 400 people who had children and husbands for hours.
Not just the men, the women,
too.
And the children
and
too.
The children too. Yes.
I
hate them.
Hey, Gilbert Gottfried. It gets everywhere. Or how does he do it?
What?
Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
How do you do his voice? Do the Anakin speech, but in Gilbert Gottfried.
I can only say clitoris in his voice. It's the only thing. The clit.
You gotta get away from the mic.
The clitoris.
Anyways,
beware. What should I say?
I hate
I hate them. I killed them. I killed them all. Not just the men, Padme, but the children and the women too. I hate them.
You should do that, but do the whole sand speech where he's like, I hate sand, it's so rough. I hate sand, it's rough and coarse.
And it gets everywhere.
Not like you. You're soft. and
it's not like
and smooth.
You're making it way creepier than it is.
And he touches her when he says it. He's like, you're soft and smooth.
Do you think he's using Jedi mind tricks on her?
No, George Lucas never knew how to talk to women.
I'm pretty sure he says not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth.
But he was touching her. I think he's talking about her.
But he's not saying you.
Oh, I guess he did say here, but maybe he said here as in like,
oh,
you know what I mean? Because he's touching her and he's saying, but here.
Are you sure? I thought he was touching the grass.
No, he was touching her.
Because they were in that field.
It was her. I watched that movie very recently.
Yes. Wow. I'm going to pretend he was touching her and talking about her and being creepy, and I'm going to judge him for it.
We should CGI Gilbert Gottfried's
No,
face on him. When he turns, he's just like, rah!
Okay. Oh, man, that's a Jurassic Park dinosaur. Chomp, chomp!
Okay. Oh, man. But anyways, so those movies were crazy.
There's only so long I can do that voice.
If you ever watch those movies, like, recently again, you really got to just pay attention. Everything's CGI. Everything. No,
everything's green screen.
Yeah. Or green screen. Yeah,
that's
just all.
One of the things
it's actually blue screen, but yeah,
I
mean, green screen, blue screen, it's all cut. It's the same thing. Same thing.
General Grievous.
Grievous.
Grievous? Is it?
I always thought it was Grievous, but it's Grievous.
I've always said General Grievous.
But like Grievous is way better.
Isn't there an I after the V?
No.
Grievous.
Yeah, but it's just Grievous.
Grievous. Well, maybe General. Well, okay. He isn't a general for his English skills.
General Kenobi.
Yeah.
Hello there.
Kenobi. What's up? What if they like switched the actors for Mace Windu and General Kenobi? So it's like General Kenobi.
Oh my gosh.
What's up?
There's this. I gotta show you this. I'm gonna try to show you guys this.
I thought you were gonna use your laptop.
I was gonna use my laptop, but I ended up never hooking it up. I don't know if I'll be able to get this.
Hooking
it
up.
Does that thing record while you're off of it?
Yeah, dude. I have got the dopest setup.
Sick.
All we're missing is a table.
Yeah, and then
that's it. We just need a table.
With like cameras.
I would love to get a table with like mini mic stands so we can all have different mics in front of us. Yeah. But anyways, I mean, as far as nerd movies go, coming out this year. There's nothing crazy this year. I think the next crazy thing is gonna be Morbius and then Spider-Man.
The Obi-Wan.
Is that happening? Because I haven't heard any. They're filming it right now.
Okay, so here's the thing. Everyone talked about it for years, and everyone's like, asked Ewan McGregor if he would do it, and he was like, "Well, yeah, I would love to do it if I could."
Yeah,
they were talking about it the entire time.
He hid it from us
for years.
He bamboozled everybody.
He's the negotiator.
Well, by the way, where did that come from? Oh, the negotiator.
He was really good at mind tricks.
No, but like it wasn't in the movie, was it? Was it in episode 3, or was that just?
Yeah, because they walk in at the beginning when they get captured, and he goes, "The negotiator." I can't do Grievous.
Yoda.
The negotiator.
The negotiator.
There's this video on YouTube, and I'm gonna try to pull it up, but it's called, it's crap. It was on. I'm gonna look it up because it's on my history. I think I was logged in when I looked it up, but it's basically Star Wars Episode 3, but it's all the Japanese translation. But it's like all put into like subtitles, and it's like spoken back.
So is it bad?
What do you mean bad?
Like,
it's funny. It's hilarious.
I know, but is it because it's bad? Is it funny because of how bad?
How do you look at your history? I know nobody probably ever does. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, library. Or wait.
Oh yeah, library and then history.
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
I love this video.
Here we go.
Oh, Andrew.
What?
What are you watching there?
Lost Pause and Nuxtaku. This guy's hilarious. Shout out to those guys. This is my history right here.
Yeah.
But here we go.
It says
everybody close your eyes.
Put in your
Clickbait.
watch later.
Oh, is this my watch later? What? Where's my history?
That should be your history.
No,
Wait,
you
scroll
click
up.
on. It's your watch later. That's your watch later, dude.
What?
Okay, how do I?
Well,
Thanks,
he's looking for that.
YouTube.
Let's talk about something I want to talk about.
I really,
the
really.
new Xbox that they're. Have you heard anything on it?
I've heard a name. That's about
Have
it.
you seen it? Okay, well,
I guess it's
built
like
a PC.
Yeah, it's just a computer now.
Yeah.
Really?
And you're gonna be able to run Steam on it.
Which is sweet.
What?
But also stupid.
Okay, why?
Because all those like gaming PC companies are gonna hate it. They're gonna get screwed over.
Screw them. It's all about us.
Well, I don't
That's
play
what we
Xbox,
want.
so.
Well,
Yeah,
you will
but
now. If PlayStation doesn't do it,
Well,
then
PlayStation 5, they're
Alright,
gonna make it where
guys.
you can play PlayStation 1 through PlayStation 5 games on it.
Okay, I think Steam is more valuable, to be honest.
I
That's
don't
a
know.
big thing, dude.
I'm
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Steam's cool, but I mean, Microsoft has always been in cahoots with Steam because it's Microsoft. I mean, it's
Oh, yeah,
PC.
that's true.
So I mean, it's not like a huge.
They've
thing.
always
I mean,
had it in their pocket.
Well,
They've always known.
at a certain point, I don't know
They
how
just
much it'll
withheld.
matter.
Can
with
you? Well, that means you can.
cross-platform
Well, that
coming.
means you should. I mean, can you play a lot of games that would normally be on PlayStation on Steam then with your Xbox?
Well, only not if it's PlayStation exclusive.
Okay.
But there are PlayStation exclusive games that are on Steam.
No.
Right?
What? All right,
They're
guys.
PlayStation exclusive.
Well, there are. Okay, really? But there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like Halo. Halo's well, no, I guess not. Halo hasn't. Really
Halo
been
is on Steam now.
Yeah, it wasn't before. I think you're right, actually.
I was thinking about buying it and playing it on my PC, but then I thought I don't actually ever play PC enough to like.
I think you got to have a pretty good PC for that.
I know. Ugh, I can
least.
barely run half the games I got, and
Yeah.
they're all older. Anyways,
Yeah, dude.
so this is called The Backstroke of the West. It's just dubbed.
Okay, we're not watching the whole thing.
Not the
right?
whole thing, Asher. It's freaking 2 hours and 20 minutes.
All right, good.
You think we got time? Just like
What?
it's just weird.
What is this? What is this?
It's
dubbed
like
by?
I don't know. It's weird. I heard it was a Japanese translation dubbed back into English. You know when you put
really?
it. You know when you put it into Japanese and
yeah.
put it back into English. It's
Uh-huh.
all of that. The whole movie.
It's because it's always like.
I'll die to solve him.
Yeah. Which is kind of fucked up that happened, actually.
That he got shot
Anyways.
like that?
Well, just that like it was like no, don't help him, and then he dies right after that.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah.
War.
Dude, you ever closed captions on? Turn your closed captions off.
Oh, at least the R2's not dubbed.
It's just a guy going.
You know, a project
A
that I want to put on to myself one day is I just want to redub all of the Star Wars movies, but I want to play I want to play R2's voice myself.
Yes.
And just do it myself.
What would you make his voice be?
It would be like, R2, I don't feel good about this, and then it'd be me, and I'd be like, no shit. You know what I mean? It's like, what did you think was gonna happen?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I would just do something like that.
I keep saying shit, and you guys keep responding like I said something totally different.
Why do none of you understand me? It's like I'm taking crazy pills. No.
Good idea, R2. That's exactly what I was thinking.
God damn it! It's not what I'm saying. Oh man, I feel.
You guys know? You guys know that this is fucking stupid and it's ridiculous?
We should dub it with quotes from other movies.
Yeah.
It's like, is this a school for ants?
For ants. Dude, I haven't watched
Zoolander.
that in
Have you
such
ever
a
seen
long time.
Zoolander?
No.
You need to
Oh my
watch
God.
Zoolander.
Dude, hilarious.
Oh my god, it
I
is.
haven't seen it in years. Do you think it holds up?
Oh, I bet. I mean, they made the second one. I never watched the second one. We should watch the second one sometime.
What
And
else? Has
do
Ben
it.
Stiller been in anything recently?
Oh god, no. I mean,
No, he directs, but I don't know.
Does he
if he's
direct?
been
I
doing
wonder
that
why
lately.
he's not in movies anymore.
Maybe if
I
he's
mean,
directing, maybe he just wants to do a switch. A whole switcheroo.
He did a couple. I mean, you make a lot of money doing that, but like, I guess. Your window in an acting is only for so much. You come in as like a young hotshot, then you become the older, like more seasoned characters. Then you become the old guy, and then you're out.
Yeah.
I think he just
like
didn't want
Clint
to.
Eastwood.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
didn't ever get to become the older guy because he doesn't have that. He's known as the funny guy.
Yeah.
You only get a few minutes. I think it was smart for him to get out and do directing. That's what Tobey Maguire's doing. He's directing a lot now. He owns his own production company, actually.
What about it was really weird is Shia LaBeouf. Like he was in Transformer movies and he was like the movies were okay, but like his character was always like kind of babyish.
He did some weird indie movies.
Yeah, and then he memed himself like a lot.
He did like some crazy stuff.
Yes, he
and
just
then
made
just
like a whole
disappeared.
musical, and then like I still
Shia LaBeouf musical.
yes I love it so much. Shia Surprise is probably the best thing that's ever been said in human history. Shia, wait, he isn't dead. Shia Surprise. It's like,
That was
it's so good.
good.
But no, but then there's like the Just Do It thing, and it memes super hard.
Just do it.
And he has
Well,
a
that
beard
was an
in all of
ad,
it.
wasn't it?
I think
Or
he
did
was
he
literally
just
just
do
like,
it?
I'm going to put a green screen behind me and just do
Talk
an
about-
inspirational
Oh,
speech.
okay.
I think he was super high and just was like, turn the camera on. I need to talk.
Yeah, the people need to hear this.
Well, yeah. And then he did that whole like, I don't know, where
He
he
put the
stood
bag
in
over
like
his head.
they were like tearing something down, and he like stood in the way, and he like had it live the whole time.
What?
Yeah, he did like a weird protest thing. He also wore a bag in public and said, I am not shy, or I'm not famous
Yeah.
on his bag of his head. And then he walked around. And then he had like, he grew out like this huge beard
Yeah,
just to do it.
weird. It sounds
Shaba
like,
Udajin style.
yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's going through a transformation.
I think he's
Sounds
having his
like he was
midlife
a-
crisis.
It
Yes.
sounds like he was a child star that just didn't get out fast enough.
I
Yes.
guess it's weird. They all do that.
I don't know. Watch him. He's gonna be in the new in Avengers 2.
He's playing the new.
Four.
Oh, God, Thor.
Yes.
He gets huge. He just gets
Yeah,
ripped.
he's gonna be what's his face? Oh my God, what's
Oh,
his
that
name?
guy.
Shut up. No, and Thor. What's
Loki?
his name? No.
I'm having crazy days.
Beta Ray
Odin.
Bill.
Huh?
Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill? Who's.
You don't know who Beta Ray Bill is?
No.
I thought he's like
Sounds like someone from
in the
Texas,
comics. I
but-
think they're gonna have him in the next Thor movie.
Well, the next one's going to have a. What's her name? Natalie Portman. She's playing
Thor.
Thor. She gets like his powers or something.
Or
Yeah, because they
or
got
it's a-
divorced and she took half of his crap. So she took half of his powers.
Gotcha.
Or it's a
That's
different-
joke.
I'm kidding.
No,
I'm not
It's probably gonna
sexist.
be like a
I made a
different
funny.
universe. It's probably gonna be a different universe because they're gonna. I think the
I
plan
know.
is to start doing the.
I don't know. He's
different
in
universes.
this. He's still. Well, they're still having him.
Yeah,
He's
he's
yeah,
still.
I know.
He's
I
probably gonna make
still-
a. He's probably gonna make a fat shirtless cameo.
No.
Just saying, if we got shirtless Thor as a man,
No,
I want shirtless
It's
Thor
probably
as a
still all
woman.
the same actors.
It's called Thor. Love and Thunder, or something like
Yeah,
that.
Love and Thunder.
I
I
bet. No,
think
it's
it's
gonna
gonna
be
be-
him and go with Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, that's the next Guardians of the Galaxy.
that's
It's
Guardian or what is it? As
As
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, really?
If that's what it's called.
I hope so. That'd be awesome.
They're-
You know, it'd be super awesome. Oh, sorry. What were
I
you
was
gonna
just gonna say, there's no way they're doing anybody else for
Oh
Thor.
no,
That'd
I
be
think they're
such a
just
bad
gonna
idea.
go to where like the universes start
Yeah,
crossing.
yeah.
over.
say? Yeah, they
Well,
should do crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, well, but no. So Beta Ray Bill was he was in one of the Thor comics. I think he was like created by something, or no, it was one of those. It was kind of like he went to like a gladiatorial thing. I think kind of similar to World War Hulk.
Okay.
But they're what was I can't remember if Beta Ray Bill was created or something like that, or just with some other being, but he was able to wield Thor's hammer. And totally laid the smack down on him.
He had Thor's outfit too, right?
Yes, but he has this weird like moose head.
Yes.
I know
it was a bird head, wasn't it?
Was it a bird? Something like that.
Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yes, I know. I didn't know that was his name, but I know what you're talking about.
Beta Ray Bill.
It was Thor from a different universe where they're like half animal breeds and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Furries won in that universe.
Exactly.
You know what? I'll say this. I want them to do this in the new Spider-Man movies because there's the weird Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man's like all of his villains, but Marvel kind of owns half the rights to him. There's this really weird thing about Marvel and Sony, that whole deal. Well, Sony's making a bunch of Spider-Man villain movies, basically cashing in on the Spider-Man might show up. Ooh, Spider-Man this, Spider-Man that. People are gonna go for Spider-Man, and then but then he doesn't. He never will.
I mean, as long as they don't make him villains, but make him like anti-heroes.
What I want them to do is I want them to make the Sinister Six team, where they have like all these villains. Scorpion. They have the first one in the Spider-Man Homecoming movie. What's his villain name again? The Vulture.
Pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl. But they got the how was the pterodactyl? They got the Vulture, they got Morbius obviously, and they can have Scorpion, and then put in a Doc Ock or something. I don't know.
No, they have he was in
Electro.
Electro.
Okay, well, yeah, we're gonna have to reboot that, but I'm just saying
they rebooted the whole thing already.
I know, I understand, but you get the Sinister Six together, and then by that time, which is probably a couple years down the road, they try to buy out Spider-Man from Marvel. Because they will have made enough money from then, and it will be worth it to see Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six.
And they'll ruin Spider-Man again.
Probably. But you know what they should do? I don't know if they could do it. They still own the rights, I think, to like some weird, like, what if they did like a weird different universe Spider-Man, where it was an older Spider-Man,
totally
and they did Tobey Maguire as an old Spider-Man. I know they can't. I'm talking about dreaming here. I'm a dreamer. Let me sleep.
I'm not saying they're not going to be able to do that. I'm saying switching to another Spider-Man actor is such a bad idea.
No. I think they should bring Tobey Maguire back because he's my favorite Spider-Man. I'm shameless about that.
I still don't know why, other than just nostalgia reasons.
Nostalgia reasons. Also, Spider-Man 2 was almost as perfect of a film as you could get.
I think, honestly, okay, you might not like me here, but I don't think Spider-Man 2, I like it. It's my favorite of the three.
Your next words better be very careful, sir.
Oh, I fucked your mother.
She's here, by the way.
Yeah, don't.
No.
Awkward, I haven't texted her back yet.
No, Spider-Man 2 wasn't as good as...
Get out of my studio right now.
It wasn't as... Oh no. No, it wasn't as good as... I don't think it was as good as Spider-Man Homecoming.
You are so wrong, sir. You are as wrong as you could get. I'm going to make an entire video. I'm going to do it by myself. I'm going to talk about exactly why Spider-Man 2 is better than Homecoming.
Okay.
Oh my god. One thing that I don't
give us
like.
a reason why it's better already.
And this one's more of my personal opinion.
Okay.
But I think a very traditional long story arc for Spider-Man, because really you're comparing young Spider-Man to older Spider-Man. Those are two really hard things to compare. But as far as I think, the older Spider-Man is a better story because you have Spider-Man being as Spider-Man can be. He is a broke, young man, young adult who's trying to work a job, trying to have relationships, trying to make his family thing work. He's already had the Uncle Ben arc, and he's the responsibility. He is truly trying to juggle all of his responsibilities while also basically his life's being torn apart by Spider-Man. Yet Spider-Man's his like true calling. So he has this weird relationship with being Spider-Man, and it's kind of making the rest of his life suffer. But it's what he has to do because he's the only person that can do it. Spider-Man, he loves being Spider-Man, obviously, because it makes him who he is. But Spider-Man makes his life hell. And that's the beauty of it. Because in this new Spider-Man, he's just a teenager who's having fun, and everything goes great for him. Everything goes great. Now, one bad thing actually happens. He gets beat up.
Not like
who cares?
His crush is, the daughter of his villain.
That is not because he's Spider-Man. It just happens to be that. Like it's not...
Being Spider-Man messed up a little bit of his social life.
How? Name one way.
Well, I mean,
because he leaves all the time. But then when he comes back, the teachers are like, "Sorry, Peter you missed this, so I guess you're not coming on the trip with us. I'm sorry, but you're not on the team anymore because you missed it. There's no real consequence. The teachers, they lost their student for 10 hours. He's gone. He comes back in Venice or wherever they're at in Europe, and he comes back and they're like, thank God you're here. And then they just get on the bus, bud.
Okay,
They don't
that
even
worked out
question
because
it.
it was a whole thing going on. It wasn't just like he disappeared and they're in.
Well, the MCU Spider-Man, here's what MCU Spider-Man I think is kind of in the works of that, because even in in Spider-Man Far From Home, he's definitely struggling. Even before that, he's struggling with his persona versus him as like as a kid, as a high school student, and one who wants to.
He just wants to be a high school student. He wants to have fun.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's as close to that as you get.
Yeah. But but he's struggling between that and Spider-Man. Like, he tries to leave his whole outfit behind because he just wants to get away from it, especially after the whole Infinity War thing. It's just like, this is so much. Being a superhero is not what I thought it was going to be.
He's struggling from PTSD from dying.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't even call it PTSD really. I think he's fine on that end. It's just it's a lot for a kid to handle. It's kind of like the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time thing, where like he goes 7 years in the future and then he like defeats Ganondorf and he's like, oh cool, and then he's like, well, I'm gonna be a kid again because I'm like 18 now and I missed all my life. Yeah. I think that's what he's trying to avoid.
Well, also he has to fill in the shoes of Tony Stark.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, but I mean,
and that's a whole thing.
But the other Spider-Man, and this is why specifically the movie. Is like he does something as Spider-Man really quickly. He didn't want to, but he did. Next thing you know, he misses the play. Therefore, his friendship is now in the trash because his friendship suffers when he's Spider-Man. Then he goes and be Spider-Man again. He gets fired. His job. Then he goes and be Spider-Man again. And then his his personal relationship with his mom gets suffered because he didn't show up to something. I mean, every time he becomes Spider-Man and does something, Spider-Man 2 specifically, he quite literally suffers in his Peter Parker life. It is taking something away. But the new Peter Parker, the new Spider-Man in the MCU, he can be both and he's not suffering. Peter Parker isn't suffering because of Spider-Man. Peter Parker isn't really suffering at all. He's suffering because
of normal things.
Not
superhero things.
Yeah, and well, not even superhero things.
Relatable.
Actually, I think it's almost quite the opposite. He's suffering from like, I have to fill in shoes of Tony Stark, which is a different thing. But I personally like the, oh crap, I gotta pay rent. Oh crap, I gotta have relationships with my friends. Oh crap, people are gonna know who my identity is. Like, those are real struggles. And in number 2, it explores that of if he gave up Spider-Man, his life became great, but the world needs Spider-Man, so he has to do it. And he knows that that's what he has to do. So he can't have everything. He knows he won't. That's the great thing. But this Spider-Man is just like, oh man, I'm gonna inherit a multi-billion-dollar company. Oh my god, how am I gonna do this? I've never had money before.
You shut your mouth. He did not inherit that company.
He's gonna. And you're right. He tried to inherit one thing from him, and he's like, give it to the next best person that I've known for 5 hours.
Because he's a kid.
I understand that.
The whole thing is because he's a kid.
I know, but I'm tired. I don't like that as much. I don't like that as much. That's my opinion. I understand.
It's definitely a very good point.
But we hate you for it.
No.
There's nothing objectively better or worse about either film because it's a film. It's going to be all
that's
opinion.
what I disagree. I just think I'm just not personally a fan of and I don't mind the directing style of those 3 Spider-Man movies.
Sam Raimi.
Yeah, Sam. It's just, it's a little, I don't know. I don't think the comic booky kind of Flash kind of way it just didn't do it for me, like the more down to earth.
The first one does the comic booky thing. The second one doesn't do it. You gotta rewatch it. It does it a lot less.
It does it less. It
really tones it down.
And the third one does it even less. But it's
that's
still there.
We're not talking about that. I don't even talk about
what
that.
third one? What are you talking about? There was only 2.
No third Spider-Man.
Yeah, there was only 2. Venom never been introduced.
No, never.
No. But it's still there, and it's still. It's also like I think we were watching it at Nate's house, and there was
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I put it in.
That's right, you
I was
put it
like,
in.
I'm going to sleep, guys.
Yes.
I put in
And the
Spider-Man
scene,
2.
yes, I know.
I fucking love that movie,
and
dude.
well, Nate and I were absolutely dying while being mortified because it was the scene where Doc Ock, they're like trying to like take his arms off like surgically, and he's still like passed out, but his arms just go wild and are killing everybody, and it like lasts a long time.
So here's the thing, Sam Raimi, you know he's the director for the Evil Dead movies,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
That's what he's known for. That's what he
He's
grew
like
up
a
on.
horror
His
director.
first movie, was horror movie. So he just kind of, you got this little cool like Sam Raimi like almost not really Easter egg, but like, oh yeah, it's Sam Raimi. Like you almost forget. But I think to me that's more of like a Sam Raimi choice, and I don't think that makes the movie suffer. I think it makes you fear Doc Ock from then on. I think it makes him like
Doc Ock was a good villain.
really
was.
I'll say this. I think the Sam Raimi villains way more fleshed out. I'm only counting the first two movies. We don't talk about the third one. But if you want to talk about Homecoming, I think Michael Keaton did a great job of playing Vulture. Great job. Probably a better
good.
actor than the other ones, but I think that he was a less developed character. He was pretty developed as far as
wouldn't say he was
MCU
less.
villains
He was
go.
alright.
I would say he's in the top tier of the MCU villains fleshed out on their first movies, but I don't think
Well,
he
see,
was
even the Green Goblin. The Green Goblin was.
You saw his whole
You saw his whole thing. It was way more fleshed out. I mean, it was Peter's best friend's dad.
Yeah.
And like who you were really close. It's
almost like his dad. It was a weird.
Yeah.
And you saw Green Goblin turn into Green Goblin the same time Peter Parker turned into Spider-Man. It was every scene was showing Green Goblin do something, Spider-Man do something, and then they finally meet up. And it's like it's this really cool. If you rewatch the movie and pay attention to that, it's really clever.
The Vulture. I think the only thing he really had going for him, and he wasn't bad, but
No.
the only thing he really had going for him was that they tied his origin story, his reason for
To the
being-
MCU.
to the MCU, which is it's cool that they could do
It's
that.
cool. It makes it feel like it's all part of a big universe, which is nice.
Which is nice, but as far as actual like character development and all that stuff, I don't know. I don't really feel that attached to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't feel all that attached to him. And Doc Ock was just, I don't know what it was about Doc Ock.
Obviously the actor was phenomenal, but they showed him at the beginning, him and Peter Parker having a personal relationship of him being like, you need to read poems, you need to read these to Mary Jane, you need to read these books. And here, he's a scientist. He's everything that Peter Parker wanted to be. He had a wife, he had a successful scientist career, and he could juggle his intelligence and how he did it. He literally was the person he wanted to be. And he wanted to change the world for the better. He was the person he looked right up to. He wanted to become that. Then something happened. He turned evil, and then at the end, then he had.
What I liked about it, and what I thought was a nice touch, is his arms were definitely just controlling his mind. Like his arms were voices in his head. Like his arms were doing pretty much. His arms were the
because it was that
ones.
chip that broke. That was kind of a plot.
His
point.
arms were the evil ones, and so and especially like towards the end of the movie, like it really emphasized like he's talking to his arms and they look at him. It's like they definitely have a mind of their own. It's very much like I don't know. That's a much more interesting plot point than.
And you hear him at the beginning of like, we need money, and then they're like. And then he's like, I can't do that. And then they're like,
Seems like you duck.
He's like, what? They're like shaking their head like a sassy. What are you gonna do? But I'm gonna.
You know what did that better though?
What?
The Spider-Man PS4 game.
Spider-Man PS4 is like the best Spider-Man ever. That's probably my. Have you played the PS4?
I haven't
Spider-Man?
played it. It looks like fun.
Dude, I'll let you borrow my PS4 Spider-Man game and let you play
My
it.
PS4
Is there a lot of-
Spider-Man game.
Oh.
That's right. I bought it for you for your birthday. And then
Can I borrow it after?
Yeah, I beat it.
Really? Is there a lot of?
Oh, you beat it? Okay, I beat it too.
Well,
Is there a lot of download?
There's 3 DLCs, and it probably gives you. It's probably. I mean, it's another while of. I mean, you play the whole story, beat it, and then if you still have that itch of keep playing a Spider-Man, just download one of them. And there's 3 of them. I beat all 2. I beat 2 out of 3 of them.
I guess
It's awesome.
I beat 2 out of 3.
Yeah, we still got to buy the 3rd one.
I know. I got the 3rd one.
There
you did?
was
Okay.
there was this Hulk game that was like it was like they put it on Wii, but it was
Hulk game?
Yeah, there was a
Are you
Hulk
talking
game.
about the free roam one, or are you
Yeah,
talking about
open
based
world.
off
You're in the
movie?
city. Yeah, you're in the city. You could just level buildings if you want, and
Actually, I mean,
like on Xbox.
I've seen gameplay of it. It's like looks really fun.
It was really fun.
But it's just like not a well-made game.
It is all right.
But
I mean,
it's fun.
it was definitely. I don't think the budget was necessarily that high.
No,
I'm
video game
guessing.
movies or video games were like.
especially the Hulk. There's a reason why. I mean, Hulk is probably my favorite superhero, but there's a reason why there's not a lot of Hulk movies. He's not that interesting of a character.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just not deep. He's interesting, but he's not very deep.
You know what's weird?
Oh.
Spider-Man, or sorry, not Spider-Man. We're not talking about that anymore. Star Wars Episode 3, the movie. You know the game came out before the movie?
Really?
Yeah, like a couple days. Like literally, I think it was. I almost want to say it was a month or something like that. But it shipped. A lot of people when they pre-ordered it, or if you went to the thing and you got it, it was like it came out like days before the movie. So you'd beat it, and then you'd already know how the movie ends, and then you go watch the movie.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah,
marketing.
it was terrible, right?
I mean,
but it's weird.
if you beat it first.
I mean, it was a short game. I think the gameplay. If you beat the whole game and you watch all the cutscenes, I think it's not even like 10 hours.
Yeah.
And people, dude, I want to buy a PS2, I want to buy a CRTV, and I just want to play old video games for a while. I would love old video games. And not even just for nostalgia. I think they were generally thought out more, or there's some sort of
simple.
gem about them.
They're
It was
just
simple,
simple.
but they're fun. Simple.
There's a lot more party games too. Like you could just couch play with like. 4
We need to play
people.
Mario Party. I'm saying it. We need to do this, but with Mario Party.
Dude, yeah, that's absolutely.
Anything you guys want to talk about? Any last things
No,
before I wrap this up?
I don't
No,
think so.
No.
Call good.
I
All
can't
right,
think of anything on the spot. Now that you make me all nervous like that.
Yeah,
dude. You know I hate pressure, man. I hate pressure. Anyways, guys, you have a great night, and you guys take it easy. You guys want to say any messages?
Yeah. Add me on Instagram at not your friend.
Oh God, shut up. Okay.
Clark College Jazz Band has a jazz festival this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday if you want to come.
You should. He's gonna be that sexy guy on the piano.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Nice. And I have a band. Name is New Management. You can check me out
Now
there.
I do feel lame.
So.
Yeah, we actually do stuff at it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well.
All right.
All right.
I have a friend group. You
This is my gamer tag.
can hit me up if you want.
All right.
PlayStation.
Add me on PlayStation.
All right. Bye, guys. Have a good one.